Hi there everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Alice Takeover. Today I'm going to be showing you some of the behind the scenes of my photo shoots in Australia. I flew in courtesy of Curiously Cool Images and took part in Peter Coulson's Melbourne workshop. I'll link those very important photographers down in the description for you, that way you could see their portfolios. I started off in San Francisco where I took a business class flight down to Melbourne. The total flight time took about 16 hours, but it flew by pretty fast because I had lots of yummy snacks, I had TV, and I got to sleep most of the way, honestly. After a long flight, I was thrilled to see my accommodations. I stayed in downtown Melbourne in one of the high-rises. To be honest with you, I took a few days rest. That way, I was as refreshed as possible for the Peter Coulson workshop. So I flew in over the weekend, and then by Monday, I was ready to go. It's workshop time! I was just amazed at how cool Peter Coulson's workshop really was in person. I've seen a lot of his work online, and to see it in person was a whole nother level. His studio is absolutely massive. And for the first segment, I stood in for portraiture. It was funny because I was wearing my striped onesie and I was wearing my fluffy socks, and I definitely brought different outfits to wear for this type of thing. But Peter was like, nah, you don't have to get uncomfortable, you know, you can be comfy if you want to. So I got to keep my comfy outfit on since it was just portraits after all. And it was mostly black and white focused anyway, that way they can see where the light was falling on me, and so as it turns out, he really liked the stripes for this segment. Everybody thought it was so funny that I was wearing my socks. Honestly, if you've never been to a Peter Coulson workshop, you're missing out. Peter Coulson's chock full of information, and even from my perspective as a model, it was amazing to stand in and listen to his instruction. And because we were at his home studio, he even pulled out one of the world's largest reflectors. I think it is the world's largest reflector. It was huge. It looked like you could take off to space in that thing. There's this one section that Peter teaches called breaking the model. He basically takes a model from working in like a sort of stiff way and then gets them to move in a way that's much more fluid and much more flowing. And so here his students were working on capturing more of those flowy movements. I just love that Peter worked with everything that each model had to offer. Working with Anna, for example, was amazing because she had just released her first album. You should definitely check it out because it's a banger. And modeling with her was amazing because we got to listen to her first track. I worked alongside some of the most beautiful models I had ever met, and they were all so brilliant to talk to, very kind and very sweet. It was a wonderful experience, and I hope that you loved the students' results just as much as I do. During this trip, we also made time to go out to Sydney. After a smooth flight from Melbourne to Sydney, we landed and checked into the hotel. The hotel was beautiful, and they even served us these little hors d'oeuvres as we went to check in. I ended up with the Grand Master Suite, and during the morning hours it had quite a view. The next day, we went out to the wharf. We were aiming to try something a little bit different for the next photo shoot. For Curiously Cool's production in Sydney, I'm going to model the flying dress with sunglasses out in front of the Opera House. But first, we need to stop off for some lunch. We got to meet this friendly fellow standing outside the restaurant. He was quite a looker. And before coming to Australia, I only ever saw the brown pelicans that they have, like, out in Florida. And at this restaurant, we had some of the best seafood that I've ever had. And I must mention Anita's gelato because it was divine. I like to think of myself as somewhat of an ice cream connoisseur, and Anita's gelato was some of the best gelato I've ever had. The photo shoot on the ferry was very quick. The ferry was chugging right along, and so I got out there in my dress, and I modeled it as elegantly as I could, even though the wind was just whipping. It was a lot of fun, and I hope that you really like the results. And after seeing the Opera House from the ferry, we decided to walk over and see it up close. The Opera House was so cool up close, and I really enjoyed seeing it from all angles. After the day production in Sydney, we flew back to Melbourne. I also got to see some of the beautiful nature that Australia had to offer. I saw some of the beautiful eucalyptus forests. And got to meet some of the crazy wildlife that they have there. I heard cockatoos up in the canopies. And I even got to see some kangaroos. And don't forget the emus. And for my grand finale meal, we ate at Aru. This restaurant was absolutely insane, and the food was just off the charts amazing. I love the quality of the food here, and it was definitely a grand finale meal. I hope you enjoyed seeing the behind the scenes of my fun photo shoot trip to Australia. If you liked this video, feel free to give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more travel videos. I travel for work all the time as a model, so you'll see me upload more travel videos as I go along. And if you'd like to learn more from me, feel free to check out my course information. I'll have it linked in the description down below. And until next time, thanks again for tuning into this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now!